All right, we go back to Washington now and more on the House Judiciary Committee's investigation into whether the U.S. Attorney General lied under oath while testifying on the surveillance of reporters. Now, look at this very closely. Here's what Eric Holder said before Congress 2 weeks ago.
With regard to the potential prosecution of the press for the disclosure of material, that is not something that I've ever been involved in, heard of, or would think would be a wise policy. In fact, my view is quite the opposite, that
All right, well, that disputes the reports that the Attorney General was involved in conversations that led to naming Fox News correspondent James Rosen a criminal co-conspirator in a leak case. I'm joined now by South Carolina Republican Trey Gowdy. He's on the House Judiciary Committee that will be leading that investigation. He joins me now. Congressman, good morning. Good to have you here.
Good morning.
You know, a lot of folks
Thank you for
look
having
at that. Well, thank you. They look at that statement by the Attorney General and say, you know, it's one of two things. You know, either he never intended to prosecute James Rosen. He just wanted to sort of stir up enough enthusiasm to get the warrant that he needed to go after those phone calls and the emails and the like. Or he's lying. I mean, those are the two possibilities laid out there. Do you agree?
Well, there may be more possibilities, but you just played what he said. Now, let's contrast what he said with the facts. There was an affidavit in support of a search warrant which cited Rosen as an aider and abettor, which, by the way, is a crime, and a co-conspirator, which, by the way, is a crime. So for him to say, I've never heard of it or been involved with, those are two very broad, expansive terms. And when you look at the policy of the Department of Justice, you cannot seek a search warrant or a subpoena against a reporter without the express approval of the Attorney General himself. So you say, did he lie? Was he mistaken? Was it an innocent misrecollection? Did he misunderstand Hank Johnson's question? I can't answer this. I can tell you this. What he said is not true. What his motive was, I'm sure Chairman Goodlatte and Chairman Sensenbrenner we'll get to the bottom of, but when you contrast what he said with the facts, they're not close.
Yeah, I mean, when he was speaking before that panel, he was talking about the AP investigation. And then a couple of days later, all of this news started to spill out about the Rosen investigation. So we don't know, whether he will say, well, I was purely just talking about the AP situation. But he, made very broad comments there about how he would never be involved in anything that smacked of the prosecution of a journalist. In fact, in a report that came out yesterday, in an interview, he told the reporter that he felt remorse over what was going on with regard to reporters. What do you make of this sort of revelation that he feels bad about all of this?
Well, I would want to ask him, what do you feel bad about? I mean, if you didn't follow your own procedures or follow the law, then whether you feel bad or not is secondary. That would either be a violation of your own policies or a violation of the Code of Federal Regulation. Martha, I just think it's sad that we're having to parse the words of the top law enforcement official in this country. Is it not too much to ask that the Attorney General give straight answers when he comes before Congress? Am I asking too much that the top prosecutor in the country not mislead Congress? If you take what he said and then contrast that with what he did and what the department did, he's either so absent from the job that he has no idea what's going on, or there would be a more nefarious explanation, which we will get to the bottom of.
All right. I want to